Warlords of Erehwon is a 248-page hardback book authored by Rick Priestley, one of the most well-known games design authors in the hobby. Firmly adhering to a classic style of fantasy gaming that has seen a resurgence of late, we intend to cover the rules in detail as a rules showcase article in the March issue of Wargames Illustrated Magazine. Meantime, let's take a look at the book itself, published by Warlord Games. The contents page is rapidly followed by some very useful pages in a section sensibly titled The Basics. Here you get a full outline of what is needed to play, the use of stats and the main types of rules, the units which are usable, basing conventions and a handy guide to the various stages of the game. A brief look at the structure of the turn and the use of order dice, and we're on familiar Priestley Warlord territory. The game makes use of different coloured order dice which is drawn from a suitably opaque container and allocated to units. This system will be familiar to those who have tried Bolt Action or Beyond the Gates of Antares. Units can carry out those orders automatically as long as they have not incurred pin markers where an order test is needed. A quantity of D10s are used to make all tests, whether order, shooting or any other. There is of course an appeal in being able to use learned rules experiences across genres. Movement rates are fairly consistent and obstacles have an effect upon the movement chosen, with a definition of said obstacles and the effects of terrain all quantified. Shooting is outlined in detail, following the standard pick a target, check the range, add modifiers and then roll to hit. Tests are made on the accuracy stat, with the target making a save using the target's resist stat. Fail to resist, the target model is removed and the unit is given a pin marker. Simple, straightforward and intuitive, but well explained and exemplified in the rules, and all followed by a useful summary. The close combat rules are equally intuitive, with only one figure from a unit needing to make contact during a charge move to initiate a round of combat. A nice touch is the opportunity for both sides to fire with ranged weapons as they charge or stand to take the charge. Each figure able to shoot may also fight in close combat, and again this is all explored in an easy to understand layout, albeit amidst a wall of text. All this ranged and up close violence can result in a unit feeling that discretion is the best part of valour, as reflected in the break test using the unit's command stats modified by pins. The reactions section explores the use of an ambush order as an alternative to other orders. This allows a player to act out of the normal turn sequence and attempt to prevent the actions of an enemy within 20 inches. The weapons and armour which can be used range from the realistically historical to the extremely fantastical, whether a ranged attack from a fire cannon to the use of blooming big axe or an improbably vast sword. The book encompasses a wealth of additional rules, covering chariots, monstrosities, special rules, spells, sundry wizardry and detailed terrain explanations, all sticking to established fantasy concepts whilst embracing elements of the real world. There are 7 suitably generic scenarios included in the rules, all with well laid out instructions and maps. These are followed by a massive 115 pages of army lists, which cover the standard fantasy tropes from barbarians through dwarves, orcs, goblins and the undead, with some less obvious choices coming with the Olympians and monsters. The lists are clearly laid out, covering pretty much any collection which can be found in the average fantasy gamer's cupboard or carry cases. Warlords of Erehwon is based on warband level fantasy warfare. If you're looking for mass combat rules, then you need to look elsewhere. The rule system is an adapted version of a thoroughly playtested and commercially successful World War II and sci-fi versions already mentioned. In that regard, it enables those familiar with either of those systems to access the fantasy genre, but is still simple enough to encourage newcomers to the rules themselves. This video has been produced by WI Prime. WI Prime is Wargames Illustrated Magazine's online members club. As a WI Prime member, you get access to all Wargames Illustrated videos before anyone else. We'll keep you posted on what's new via the Primetime News Bulletin delivered to your inbox every Friday. If you're not a WI Prime member, you're missing out on loads of benefits, including access to the Wargames Illustrated Vault, freebies, discount vouchers, PDFs of the latest magazine and more. Find out more about WI Prime by following the link.